There it is. Okay.
Team NBS Media presents The Mask Podcast.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, everybody. We want to welcome you back to another episode of the Mask Podcast. I'm your host, Mark, along with my co-host, Rick. This week we have supposedly 3 special guests, 2 which is special to me because they are my children. Nazir, for some reason, does not have his face on the screen. I don't know what the hell he is doing. There he go. That's my oldest son. Nazir, just introduce yourself.
I mean, I'm his oldest son. I don't know. I'm just here to talk.
Oh yeah, well that's Nazir for you as he just explained himself. Of course, Rick, explain introduce yourself to everybody again.
Yeah, all know me, Rick, the resident Dolphins fan, sports and entertainment guy. Let's get this ready to rock and roll today, man. This has been a crazy day for me, but I'm ready to go.
I feel you. I just spoke to Steve. Steve said give him about 10 minutes and then he'll be on. So that's cool. So we can bypass some of the Minnesota talk until Steve gets on, since he is the resident Minnesota fan. I'm still waiting for the little one. From what I'm told from Nazir, he is shopping for prom shoes. So I guess we can have to wait for his little ass in a minute. But until then, we can just kick it off with whatever. We're going to save the good stuff. Nazir want to go last. So the Wolves were first. We're not going to do that. All right, let's go to the Knicks. New York is on one hell of a run this playoffs. Of course, they beat my Sixers. That's some bullshit. But now they're, I think, one up on Indiana? So Rick is not the big NBA guy. So, Nazir, we're going to jump to you first. Do you think the Knicks can keep their momentum and make it to the NBA Finals?
The Finals? Ooh, no.
Damn, bro.
I feel like they can I feel like they can beat the Pacers in about, 5? I feel like they got them in 5. I don't see the Pacers winning more than 2, really. But if they make it past this round, I got the Celtics winning against who the Celtics playing? The Cavs. I got them 4-0. I don't think Knicks going past the Cavs either. It's gonna be a good series though. I see 6 Celtics and 6.
All right. So how do you feel about what Jalen Brunson has been doing since the playoffs started?
Jalen Brunson a dog. He's a dog.
These young kids in their little slang.
He is. Look at the stats.
I had this conversation, I think, in a room, and for me, don't get me wrong, what Brunson is doing is remarkable. But the true MVP of that team in the playoffs has been Josh Hart. Hart is damn near averaging a triple-double every fucking game. He's not known as a scorer, but he's putting up like 15, 10, and 10 every game. Brunson. Yeah, okay. I'm going to have to use the word, Brunson is a dog. I mean, dude is a fucking beast, all the way around. But for me, I wouldn't mind them winning, but part of me kind of don't want them to win because they're not healthy. Like, I love Julius Randle. A lot of people don't like him. I love Julius Randle. And now he's out, and I can't even pronounce his guy name, Bogdanovich. You know that dude that came from Detroit. He's out. So I'm like, if they do make it to the finals, Does Brunson have enough in his tank left to beat the Celtics or not?
I mean, that's hard to say because that's hard to say. I feel like in the finals, nah, I don't. Like I said, I don't see them getting past the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. I feel like he can get them there, but that Celtics team is they're just different. Like they were built to win.
But they've been built like that for the past 3 years and still don't have a damn championship. So obviously they're not built right.
I mean, the first time they went against an experienced Warriors team, and they're hard to beat. Like,
so this year is different.
It is different. They know what it takes to get there.
But do they know what it takes to win?
I mean, look. I mean, I feel like they do.
Are you already trying to look up stats?
No. I'm not looking at stats. I'm just fixing this at the bottom.
Yeah, I like the Celtics, but without Porzingis, I don't know if they could beat the Knicks. Really, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. Porzingis is that important to that team that without him, I don't think they can beat New York.
And okay, let's go matchup wise, right? Matchups. Jalen Brunson, who's the point guard for the Celtics? Is it Derek?
No, I mean, you can go between Derek and Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday,
it's really
okay.
Drew Holiday.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good matchup.
Yeah. He a dog too. Yeah.
He's a dog. And shooting guard, what's that dude name who came from the Warriors? His last name.
No. Oh, you talking about for the Knicks?
Yeah.
Devin Zinko or that guy.
Devin Zinko. 2 guard for the Celtics is Brown.
Is Derek White or Brown? You could swap. You could swap.
Depending on who they have on him, like he's a burner. Like he can really shoot that. He can really.
Devin Zinko?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can shoot it, but Celtics got that. Well, I can't even say that shit because Knicks ain't no joke on the defensive end either. But like you said, they got that experience. But then you add in that Porzingis, man, in that middle. When he's healthy, he's a problem, man.
He is. If he comes. Does he come back? Or when
he should. But he's been on that little. He sometimes he could be a wuss and have a splinter, act like he's missing 8 weeks of basketball. But
if he comes back, then they have a. I feel like they're gonna win anyway. The Celtics are. So if they play the Knicks, they're gonna win anyway. I don't see nobody in the East beating the Celtics. Maybe the Bucks if they were healthy, but.
All right, Nick. So all right, that's what I was there thinking. All right, so we're gonna once again skip over this. All right, so my team, Philly, season is over. As usual. I'm about used to this shit right about now anyway. First round, second round, I don't even fucking matter. Like they have not made the Eastern Conference Finals since MB has been there. However, they got a shit ton of money this offseason, almost $55-60 million that they can just spend anywhere. Because that's how Daryl Morey set it up. Mm-hmm. The big name that's being linked to the Sixers is Paul George.
Paul George, yep.
Yeah. Now, I think they need some other shit, but how do you feel about Paul George coming to Philly and helping Embiid and Tyrese Maxey next year?
I think Paul George is a good fit. I feel like that's what the Sixers need, like a good-sized wing who can score and defend.
Oh, look at you trying to NBA.
Tobias Harris not doing it. I'm sorry. He got to go.
Oh, no. This is last year. Like, as soon as that game was over, I swear they packed his fucking bags. It's time for you to go.
He's gone.
It's time for you to go, bro. You're not a dog. You know what I'm saying? You're a puppy. Mm-hmm. You might not even be a fucking puppy, you little chihuahua ass. But no. But I mean, I like George. Besides his injury history, but then again, watching the Sixers, that's not what they need. You got Arube. Well, Harris, you're already gone. They need someone to help rebound. George, I think his average maybe 4 to 5 rebounds his whole career. That's not what they need. Scoring, not even really. Maxey averaging 30. Fucking Embiid averaging 30. They need some rebounders. That's what killed them against the Knicks. They could not rebound the fucking ball. I don't think George is that answer for the Sixers.
Then who is?
That's the $1 million. Excuse me. That's the $60 million question. But there's like in today's game, maybe you can go get you a quality rebounder, but like who? Like it was supposed to be PJ Tucker. Then it's supposed to be Nick Batum. Robert Covington was injured. Paul Reed sucks ass. And Tobias Harris. Now, don't get me wrong. Harris averaged 9 rebounds per game against the Knicks. It just didn't seem like it because he was averaging 2 points per game.
Right.
So they need now. Paul can defend, and you're right about that. But he's also 34 years old.
I mean, how old is Tobias Harris?
Tobias Harris is what? If I'm not, is he under 30?
I don't know.
But the problem with Harris was that I think he was making like what, $35 million a year. That was his problem. You're making all this fucking money, but you're not contributing. If you was making like $10 million, we can take your 2 points and 0 rebounds or whatever. We could eat that and be like, oh, you know what? He's a bum anyway. But you're making $35 million a year, dude. At least give up a double. What the fuck?
I see, like, on the thing with Paul George, you say he's 34 already, but it's like, it's not like they're bringing him in or they're going to bring him in on a long-term contract. Like, I feel like they're going to give him like maybe a 2-year minimum, not like a minimum contract, but like a 2-year deal because they're trying to win now. Like, they ain't trying to build for the future. They're trying to win.
True indeed. So you in your mind, you're just saying this Paul George can help lead them to the title.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I think he can.
Huh. The dude is barely healthy. Now, hey, look, Paul George is nice. As you would say, he's a dog.
Yeah, he's a dog.
I just don't know if he is that missing piece that Philly. Well, shit, he's on the team with Kawhi and James Harden, and they still couldn't get it done.
I feel like that was just. Actually, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened with them. But I had the Mavs winning that anyway.
Rick, you got anything to add to this?
Hell no.
No, you said hell no.
Bro, I've been trying to get back into basketball, but my Bulls have been so freaking terrible. It ain't even worth it, man.
Yeah, you know what? I wasn't going to let you know that you were a Bulls fan. I was going to keep that between you and I.
Listen, I'll tell you, when it comes down to it, the NBA Finals and all these guys have the longevity. They all have the know-how. But I'm going to tell you that when it comes down to it, it's whoever's got the fresh out of legs, and especially in this era of basketball where everybody's a shooter and everybody's taking those deep jumpers, man. Whoever got those legs is going to get us deep into the freaking – they get you deep in the finals. Who are the 76ers or the Knicks going to pick up or anything like that? I don't fucking know, man.
I don't fucking know, man. Oh. Well, then you got to take – all right, well, then at the same time, all right, you take Nazir now. So – as a Hornets fan, yeah, I said that. Wait a minute, are they still the Hornets? Yeah, they the Hornets. I
don't even know anymore.
I don't even know. I don't even know what the fuck they are. And what kills me about them is, I look at their roster every year.
They got
and I'm like, dang, y'all got LaMelo. Y'all got. Wait a minute, which one of y'all got? Who the hell got?
You got
is it Mikal Bridges or
who?
Who the hell y'all got? Mikal Bridges or what?
Yeah, we got Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller. I think we just got Grant Williams from the Mavericks.
That dude's still in the league.
Yeah.
What the fuck? But see, and that's a nice squad. So why did? Yeah. I mean, LaMelo averages about what 12 games a year.
Right.
That might be the reason y'all got the kid Nick Richards down low. I kind of like that kid Bridges or whatever the hell that nigga name is.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the guy who choked his wife or his girlfriend?
That's Bridges.
Oh, can you say that? Like, can we say that? Like, can we say choked his wife? Like, is that like politically correct or some shit?
He did something.
All right. So you got them. I love their squad. It's just I can't say too young because we got a bunch of teams that's young. It's just something with that team is not fucking clicked. They was like, oh, blame Michael Jordan because he's the owner and he did this. You can't blame Jordan. Because, I mean, all Jordan can do is write the check. These dudes got to go out on the court and perform, and they're not performing. And I don't know why. You got any reason why your team sucks?
Really, just injuries. Like, that's all I could say. Injuries. Miles Bridges was gone for, like, the last half of the season. LaMelo was gone last season and this season. So all we really got hooping is a rookie and some backups.
You know what? I'm going to let you have that moment because, it has to hurt to watch every other team do good shit and your team just continuously suck ass like year after year after year. So, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The Sixers done. Sixers.
First of all, we're not even going to do that because your team suck ass. When the last time y'all even sniffed the playoffs?
We was in the play-in like 2 years ago.
What the fuck is the play-in? I'm granted we had to do the play-in, but we had a reason why. I said the playoffs. You said the play-in. That's two different things, kid.
We was right there.
What's right there?
Like right there, one game away. One game away.
I said, yo, we was right there. Rick, what was that shit? All right. But that was like what? You said about 2 years ago. Okay, 2 years have passed, and, I don't think y'all reached 30 wins yet. Did they get 30 wins?
I would be surprised. I don't even know.
Word. So you know what? I'm not even going down your team like that. That, you know what? We just gonna get off. We just gonna get off Charlotte all together with they brother ass. And I'm sorry you're just born into that whack state with that, with that whole team that just sucks hot ass. No, it's all good. All right. Okay. So another team that I won't say kind of disappointed because they didn't kind of do anything. They really did disappointed. The Phoenix Suns. You had a team with Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker, and you did nothing for the second. Okay, forget the first year because Bill wasn't there. My thing with them is you made a mistake grabbing Bill because you did not have a point guard. Right. Bill is not a point guard. Booker is not a point guard. Durant is not a point guard. Like, where was your floor general to get these guys, all these perimeter players, their shots? So for them to go out in the first round, it was like, to me, it was expected. Like, who the fuck thought they was going to win a fucking championship? Nazir, if you're the owner of Phoenix, what do you do next?
Get a point guard. Simple. Get a point guard.
But they ain't got no money.
Well, you got to let somebody go.
Who do you want to let go?
So, I mean, Bill can leave. Like,
damn, bro. But Bill can't leave. You know how much money Bill is?
Yeah, he's on a big contract. I know that. He's on a big contract.
Nobody want that contract.
I say, I mean, what pick do they got in the draft?
Oh shit, I don't even know. I don't even think they even got picks. I think they traded everything for Bill and Durant. Yeah, they fucked.
You better sign somebody in free agency.
For them, there's been talk about, hey, and this is wild shit. There's like, hey, maybe Durant can go back to Golden State. Yeah, I've seen that shit a couple of times already.
What?
Yeah, so they talking about moving Durant back to Golden State and get some of the young Golden State assets and just start building from there.
You're gonna put Booker in the same situation he was in years ago, like just him carrying that team.
Like, at this point, they got no choice because they ain't got no damn money.
But you gonna let go of Durant to do what? Just lose? Like,
yeah. I guess sometimes you got to start, but I can't build a team around Booker and Bill either. So at this point, that was just that. Jesus Christ!
I just didn't see the point in signing Bradley Beal. Like, they already got Booker, who's a scorer. You just got another scorer. You got the same player.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a good analogy. You got the same damn player. What? You got two you got two shooting guards, and really Durant is a small forward. You got two shooting guards and a small forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Nurkic. Nurkic? That's the kid's name.
Yeah, he's solid. Yeah, he's solid.
Yeah. I like Nurkic. But once again, you have no bench really. You got Eric Gordon. He's like 49. He really can't do much. They signed Isaiah Thomas. You know, his heyday was 10 years ago.
Right.
So it's like you're saying, the only route you can go with them is free agency, and the free agency class is kind of thin this year. So yeah, they fuck. I mean, you know, I see them in the play-in next year. Plain and simple. So to all the Phoenix fans out there, I'm sorry. I'm glad it's not my team.
Timberwolves was just a bad matchup. Like they just
yeah, I'm trying my best to wait for the Timberwolves fan to come on here before I start talking about them boys.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm trying to hold off for the John, and he said he want to talk about the other guy, so I'm trying to hold off for him. All right, so while he's still going, I guess we're gonna jump to the next biggest topic in the NBA. This motherfucking man can sweat like a bitch.
Yes.
This damn LeBron James.
Oh God.
Stop right now. He's not going nowhere.
Why not?
It was just a coach. I feel like he got the team to win. He has a good team. He got a good starting five. He got a decent bench. He just ain't had no coach. Like, no coach.
You know what?
Coach.
All right. Okay. All right. I'm going to say this as slow as possible right here.
Okay.
We talk about Kyrie Irving. We talk about James Harden. We talk about Durant as coach killers. When are y'all going to put LeBron into that category?
I mean,
seriously.
Coach killers?
Yeah.
What?
The man
Kyrie?
has ran through some coaches, yo.
Kyrie?
No, LeBron. I mean, LeBron has ran through some coaches. He had about 8 since he's been in LA by himself.
What I think it is, I think it's just okay. Let's say, here's what I think: the owners in LA know that LeBron wants to win, and they give that coach probably a 1 to 2 year time. Table to get it done. If they don't get it done, then they feel like LeBron not the problem. They think LeBron the greatest player to ever play the game. Like who don't want LeBron on their team? Right.
Me.
LeBron's what y'all need. That's what y'all
need.
Y'all need LeBron.
That's not on my team. I'm trying to win.
Right, y'all need LeBron's a winner.
He's trying to win. He's gonna be crying the whole fucking game. like LeBron. LeBron is not built for Philly, yo. He's not built for that city.
Oh my
God. Look. And
even I know that.
Is anybody listening? I really do apologize for what I'm about to say because I know somebody's going to get in their damn feelings because they always do. LeBron been in LA for like, what, 5 years maybe? If it wasn't for that mother freaking bubble, he would have nothing to show for his time in that damn city. Yes, I got to give them their respect because they did win that ring. However, that ring came from like a half a season. And we all know with the Lakers, once you get towards the end, someone gets injured. So being as though the league stopped, they had time to get healthy. Granted, they did win. I can't take that away. You cannot take that away from him winning that ring. But look at this: how I view champions.
Okay.
It's 2000. You win a ring. What do you do in 2001? What do you do in 2002? What do you do in 2000? The Lakers have not sustain any kind of fucking, they have not sustained that winning. You've been missing the fucking you've been missing the playoffs. Like, how do you miss the playoffs if you're freaking LeBron James, aka the GOAT, with Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, D'Angelo freaking Russell? We're gonna blame the coach. All the coach can do is draw the play, bruh. But when you get into and you start talking to the media and you like, yeah, well, we know what we was doing out there. How the fuck you don't know what you're doing? You've been in the league 20 years, bro. How you don't know what you're doing out there?
See, you gotta think about it though. LeBron He's a PR mastermind. He's saying we don't know what we're doing, but what he really saying is D'Lo don't know what he's doing.
Oh,
D'Lo is Mr. Inconsistent.
yo, D'Lo had one bad game, and y'all crushing him. D'Lo saved the Lakers' ass most of this postseason. He was balling. They tried to trade the man. Ever since that,
When I trade that, yeah.
You couldn't trade him because he started balling. He was more valuable than Reeves was.
Yeah.
So they can't say, oh, D'Lo was the issue. D'Lo was not the issue. The issue was you hitched your wagon to a man that's 39 or 40 years old. Like, dude, it is time for y'all to cut that. Like, he's in line to make, what, $53 million next season? Yo, go somewhere, bro. Let us build our team up because you're 39 now. You are not Tom fucking Brady. And the sad part is, if we was winning with you, I'll say, yo, let's keep him. But we're not winning with you.
Okay, but what do you when you say winning, is that just only a championship?
That's Lakers basketball. That's what it comes down to.
I mean, yeah, for Lakers, but I mean for a lot of these teams like Eastern Conference Final with Western Conference Final, that's winning. Like you made it to the round before. Well, granted, they got swept, but I mean they made it to the ECF. Like I feel like it's not winning at all, but you a winning team. That's a winning culture.
All right, so we got right here. We got my man Steve. About to bring Steve on. And
There you go.
Yeah. I think Steve got something to say about LeBron. About LeBron. Steve, what's going on, brother?
How's it going, guys? What's going on, everybody? Welcome, everybody. How's it going? Minnesota represent 6-0 in playoffs already thus far, up 2-0 in the champ. You know how we do.
That's what we doing. That's how we coming on the show. You just come on the show
right in.
Like he didn't say, yo, I'm Steve Rogers from Team NBA. That's what a 6-0.
If you don't know, I'm Steve Rogers with Team MBS Media. So what should LeBron do? I'm going to take the other side. I'm going to take the business side. What should the Lakers do? Because honestly, how much? And we're talking business now. We're not talking ball. We're not talking about game. We're talking business. How much value is left on this Lakers team, and who has the most of it? Let's be honest. It's LeBron and AD. How much more left do you want LeBron to run his entire treads all the way down in LA, where they probably won't see championships when he's running the tires down? And they're drafting Bronny, who's not even supposed to be drafted at this point, apparently, from what I'm hearing. No, it's time to sell LeBron for the sake of the Lakers and get off of that ship now, because I don't see it working out. But also at the same time, I told you I had some controversial proposal for the Lakers and the Breakers. Yeah. They obviously can't keep a coach, and obviously LeBron wants to be the coach without the title of being the coach. But we all know he's running the team. He's running the practices. He's running the drills. He's the one telling people when they show up and where they go and how they do. Well, in that instance, if the coach is just a shadow box, the league average for coach salaries is $3.5 million. Hey, LA, LeBron, I'll sign up for $2 million right now for the next 2 years, and as long as you go ahead, I'll put on a suit and some Nikes every night on the floor. I'll be right there and say whatever you want me to say. I'll do whatever you want me to do. I'll be at every single press conference. I'll wear a suit to those too. Oh, I'll wear whatever you want me to wear. I'll say whatever you want me to say. I don't care. It's not really, I'm not really the coach. I'm not really coaching. We all know that. LeBron's the coach.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Coach LeBron, or what else they call him? The GM.
I know a few things about ball. I know that you need to have the ball, and I know it needs to go in the orange ring basket. So they go get the job done, and you need to keep the other team from doing the same thing. I can tell the guys to do that all day long. Let's go, LeBron.
Yeah,
I think 25.
I think that marriage I think that marriage has ran its course, but
Yes.
and I mean you got Reeves there and you got AD there. You can build off those two. LeBron at his age, I get it. He's still putting up 25. I get it, yo. He's still producing, but
LeBron
they're
is
not
still the
winning.
most productive athlete ever to be in the NBA at any age. He's the Randy Moss, he's the super freak or whatever you want to call it of genetics of the NBA. Whenever has there ever been a man 6'8", 260-pound freight train that handles the ball like Victor Wembanyama? We're all talking about. No, he's 7'4", handles like a point guard. How? Oh, LeBron was the same thing. We're all like, how? Okay, it's so he's supposed. When I'm sorry, if I was 6'8", I'd be dominating the league too.
Well, yeah.
Tell me I wouldn't.
All right, so I guess we're going to come to the conclusion that, the Lakers, LeBron needs to end their marriage now. Steve is here. So, all right, I gotta get myself together before I ask this question because I can just imagine what the fuck he say out his mouth. All right. Shit. All right, Steve. Your team, anybody don't know, we're talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves. They are on one hell of a run to start this playoffs. Holy shit. All right. Before you go into your 85-minute rant,
clock in.
So, matter of fact, damn, we not going to ask Rick, like, man, I don't know nothing about them motherfucking Wolves. So we can go to my son first. Nazir, what do you think about the Wolves? Do you think that they are for real and that they can, that they can win it all?
Yeah. I feel like they're for real. I feel like Ant's just hungry. Like he wanted more than anybody else to know what's the conference do right now. I think he could take them all the way.
All right. Well, first of all, you gotta love Nazir because his answers are like fucking 10 words long.
But that's the new generation. Everything in short moderation, short answer, short attention, quick video, 30 seconds or less. You gotta squeeze it in because they got on to the next.
Oh shit. Okay.
I haven't really watched the Wolves, so I don't got too much to say on them. Really.
All right. Steve. Lord have mercy. Lord help us all.
Well,
do you think that the Wolves have what it takes to win the NBA championship this year?
I actually, and surprisingly, I have kept my opinions mostly on the low and to myself because I haven't wanted to somehow curse the team by admitting what I feel inside to be factual and true. I have just let silently play out to be true. And so I speak with absolute trepidation because I don't want to pop the bubble.
Wait a minute. Did you say trepidation? What in the hell you say? What the fuck?
You pick things up going to college. It's weird. I don't know. But yes, I can't help it. Stephen A. Smith went ahead and said it yesterday, and I've kind of actually wanted to talk against Stephen A. going out and being so openly blasphemous, saying that, well, the Western Conference is the Minnesota Timberwolves now. And not just that, they're winning the chip. Stop it, Stephen A. Don't let anyone know that, especially us. We will no, we can't. Don't get our hopes up. All that something will. A tire will blow on this mission that we're currently so successfully on when we hear such praise and wonderful things happening. We never get to have wonderful things in Minnesota. They always fail on us. They always derail. They always wide left, 27 yards. You can't make a 27-yard kick in the NFL. Luck is always against Minnesota. So to be even where we are, is, and it is all a testament to this. It's not just Ant. As much as we want to say Ant's the new MJ, he's the next MJ or the next Kobe. Yes, he is putting up moves and highlights and reels that make you have to go and look up the other guy's reels and go, wait a minute. He is doing exactly what that guy just did. And the other night, I don't know if you guys all saw it, but the other night, I've seen it a couple of times in this playoff run now. I have to agree nationally with everyone else. You have to acknowledge the greatness that Anthony Alpha Wolf Edwards is giving us.
What the hell? You just gave him a whole middle name? What the fuck?
Alpha Wolf Edwards is taking over the league. And he did so when he defeated his own idol in Kevin Durant, the man that he had on his pedestal as his GOAT. He slayed that dragon. Now there is nothing that stands in his path. But anyway, besides that, he was in a double coverage and he did a spin move into the guy that was guarding him, went up and hit a fadeaway. A la only MJ could have ever done. I mean, it's like, wait a minute, okay. It really is him. Like, someone get this man a DNA test because he's the unknown child of MJ. For real. And again, we just had the 4-time defensive player of the year. We have the 6th man of the year. And our point guard was named the teammate of the year. Anthony Edwards should be further in the conversation of the MVP this year, but he's not for some undeserved reason and disrespected. Or the most improved player, also name not on list. Yet he has taken over the entire playoffs and is running the show. Him and Brunson. Gotta give Brunson his flowers because he's put up 40 a night too with his somehow. So, yes, the Minnesota Timberwolves are the most. And who has ever seen a playoff game where the defending champs were held to 80 total points in their own house? Can anyone tell me that? Again, pardon the interruption. Mike Wilbon was speaking to. He hasn't seen that since Ron Harper, Scottie Pippen, and Michael Jordan. And also, in that comparison, the second run of that group had Dennis Rodman. Now, Dennis Rodman was not known for his offense. He was their rebounding and an annoyance guy and defense guy, right? We have that on the Timberwolves as well. His name is Jaden Daniels. Game 1, he scored 0 points, had 8 rebounds, and a plus-minus of 14. He followed that up in Game 2 with a plus-minus of 26. Our team, from top to bottom, is whole and complete and can play multiple positions and switch from position and guard whoever at position to position. There is no weakness on this Wolves team. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but if the Western Conference is the strongest conference, the Minnesota Timberwolves are the strongest team in it. Good luck, Boston. Good luck, New York. Hello, Minnesota. We have arrived.
Oh, okay. That's how you shut that shit down, Steve? Oh, damn. Steve came through with the big words. Oh, okay. Nah, that was a good. As always, I ain't gonna front though. I still do love the Captain America shield in the background right there. Yeah, that is. Yeah, everybody, you see that? Yeah. Rick, you never saw that the last time he was on the Captain America?
No, I didn't see it. I was like, yo, is that one in the background? I got one hanging on my wall myself.
No. I mean, all we see in your background is like some clean white couch with a fucking piano in the chimney.
Listen, you don't want to see my background right now. my freaking apartment's all out of sorts.
But no,
if I ever go online with my PlayStation Network, you can find me under the gamer tag True Cap America.
There you go.
Giving out gamer tags and shit.
He's like, yo, y'all want to play some 2K? I'll be some Minnesota. Let's go.
No, but no. your Timberwolves outlook was, I mean, that shit was on point. And before I jump to the next segment, I do want to say this about them. So everybody's saying, oh, well, they getting lucky or they doing this. Please remember that last year they were not healthy.
They didn't have games either. They both had broken wrists.
There was no games last year because I think he punched the wall or some shit like that.
The last game of the season.
Yeah, so I mean, he was out.
And the last game of the season broke his hand, and Nasir just broke his wrist the week before. So they both gone against the Nuggets.
This is not the same team from last year.
And they were the toughest match that they had was us without those two guys. Also, what else is different about this year that I forgot to mention? Mr. Cat himself, Karl Anthony Towns, has transitioned and transformed his game quietly and seamlessly into the Scottie Pippen role.
You know what? You're right. Yeah, I think it took him about 2 to 3 years for him to realize that this ain't my damn team no more. And I respect Cat for that because, Cat was always on the trade block.
He's been known locally by one of our pundits as the big meow. He's turning into the big roar.
I respect him for that. That's a great outlook on Wolves, but you don't go anywhere because I still got your Vikings coming up. And a quick heartbeat. Now, we're done with the NBA, but I do have a question for everybody, and it's a sport that we don't talk about because I think Steve may watch it. I don't know if Nazir watched it, and I don't think me and Rick has ever talked about it. Fucking hockey. I don't know too much about the playoffs, but okay, I don't know shit about hockey. I've been to one.
Who cares when it comes to playoffs? It matters. Playoffs are playoffs. I don't care what sport.
And the thing about hockey, for anybody that don't know, if you never watched this shit forget watching on television. You gotta go to a live game. You talk about a sport. That shit is up lit. Like it is a fucking breakneck. It is a breakneck sport where you just like, yo, and they fight. But my thing for me is being a black male. We do not have hockey in our communities. And I never understood. I get it. I like, what the fuck? We can't afford ice? Like really? Like, what is it? See, but we'll look at hockey. We like, yo, why is there no black players in hockey? That's because we got beat up baseball fields in our parks. We got basketball courts. We got soccer fields. I'm sorry. We got football, but we don't have a skating rink to say, hey, let's go learn. Hockey is by far one of the greatest fucking sports you can ever fucking watch live because there's no break in action. Like these motherfuckers be skating and there's no timeout to sub in. Like these motherfuckers run past the bench and the next niggas hop off the fucking bench. Like that shit is
even their TV timeouts are. They don't have 5 TV timeouts. They have like a minute.
It's like if me and Rick got a beef. We played 2 nights ago. And I'm like, you know what? I can't wait to play this team again because I'm going to fuck Rick up the next time I see him. When the refs drop the puck at the beginning of the game, they already know, yo, we about to fight.
Did you see that a couple weeks? There was the end of this. I think it was the end of the season or the first game of the playoffs. The team, literally the opening drop of the puck, the whole teams dropped their gloves and went into a brawl. All 5 dudes on both sides. They just said, let's go. Goalies too. Benches clear.
You gotta love it, yo. They got the power play.
Baseball game. You never see that on a football field. You can't. Where else can you see a whole team just go, you know what? Oh, the bell just sounded. Let's go.
Yeah. Hockey's fucking awesome. I need to get into it. I just can't pronounce your name. So I'm like, I ain't watching that shit. I can't pronounce your name, bro. I don't know what I don't know who you are. I can't pronounce your name.
Too. I was basketball, baseball, football. Those are my 3. I did not care about ice. I don't like cold. I'm a freeze baby. I can't. It's not my thing. But getting into watching it and then seeing it live. Oh. Yeah. Oh, it's, game changer! Oh, it was.
It is.
Oh.
Yeah, it is.
It's the only
Nazir,
live.
You are in Carolina. You got the Hurricanes. They still play at the near NC State.
Yeah.
Take your ass to a hockey game. Trust me.
You were talking you know.
You were lovely. I went to one, and I mean they suck ass, but it wasn't even about them winning. It was like, first of all, take a coat because this coat is fucking there. That shit shocked the shit out of me. I was like, yo, and it was a young white girl. She was like, oh, this must be your first game. I'm like, damn, how you know?
She wasn't.
She was cold as shit. And then know me, like if I watch the game,
Come here to Minnesota.
I think the tickets was like $50 to sit like all we, by the ring. Never again. I would never, because I was cold my ass. I was like, yo, this shit ain't bro.
20 degrees outside and they're wearing shorts. The 20 degrees outside, the snow is coming down, and I see people in shorts and t-shirts, and I start getting cold looking at them. I'm like, what is wrong with these people?
Man, listen, you ain't tougher than Mother Nature.
How are we from the same state? Because what is happening? I am cold looking at you, and you're in shorts and a t-shirt. Like, it's cool. There's some flip-flop sandals. There's an inch of snow on the ground. What are we doing, people?
You know what? I know, like, I guess, somehow, some way that, hockey is in almost every city, and the fact that
up until a week ago, it was in Arizona.
Well, yeah, that's like, what the fuck? But even then, Arizona, New York, Philly, fucking, I'm like, every place has a day. Sorry, I'm gonna say every place has a hood. Somehow they need to get together and bring that shit to the hood so we can learn it. But on to another subject as we, time constraints. All right, now we're gonna jump into this NFL shit, the pigskin.
Let's go.
Yeah, the first question is for my man Rick up here. Then we're gonna jump to Nazir. Rick, your Miami Dolphins went and signed Odell Beckham Jr. What the fuck was the reason behind this signing, and will it work?
The reason behind this signing is, listen, after you saw a lot of what happened, like Miami was unstoppable last year for a good part of the season on offense.
Big chunks.
Tyreek got hurt. Jalen Waddle got hurt, and the offense came to a stall. So the biggest thing they need to do, and that's a great thing about signing someone like Odell, is he doesn't have to be the star on this team. He can go be the role player who's going to make those big plays. And if someone gets hurt, he's going to have a bigger role. If he doesn't need to have that big role, he can fade into the background a little bit and still make plays. So essentially, you're looking at this guy that they signed a 1-year deal. $3 million. That's probably the cheapest you're going to get a good veteran receiver for. And he can earn up to $8 million based on incentives. You're not going out and getting guys that can make plays and that can be game changers essentially, or even former Super Bowl champions. You're not going to go out and get guys like that for $3 million anymore. Yeah, he's getting up there in age, and yeah, he's been hurt some bit, but for $3 million, who cares? They throw money around like that. I remember a few years ago, and I'm going to say this, I think Miami was paying their backup quarterback $8 million for a backup quarterback. You got a guy who's going to come in and make plays on day one for $3 million? Sign him. Whatever.
All right.
I
feel it. Mr. Nazir, the youngest guy on the panel. As a guy who likes Tua, do you think he can help Tua progress and take that next step next season?
And
mind you, Rick is a Dolphins fan, so be mindful what you say.
No, I'm not gonna say anything bad about Tua. I mess with Tua. He's good. I just think that progress him, like, how much more can Odell progress Tua? I don't feel like it'll be a substantial amount, but I do think he will fit better like in the Dolphins offensive scheme. I just don't think the Ravens were a good or the best fit for him just because they're not like a real pass heavy team. They're more like a hard nosed, like run heavy, and will pass every now and then, but progress to it. I don't know.
I'm so proud of you, kid. You know some shit. I'm proud of you.
I also think that just lost my train of thought. Dang. I mean, experience-wise, he can, probably give some like tad bits here and there, but yeah, I mean,
All right.
I don't really think.
All right. Steve, what you think?
Let me try
What you think about the Odell signing with the Dolphins? Good or bad?
I like it. In fact, I think it will be rather interesting to see just how much it does work out. Because again, we all know how well the Waddle and Hill factor work when they're healthy and working. It works. Throw in a former Pro Bowl, former Super Bowl champion, veteran, maybe quasi leadership at this point. He's willing to accept a role of. And also the fact that if, again, one or two of them does get hurt, he can fill in for that gap time if it's a short-term injury or whatever. Or we can see what it's like to really open up the floodgates and have triple sets for Tua to unleash upon and see if he can decipher a defense and run through three progressions. And, when there's three top level receivers out there, he knows that he can trust to catch the ball if he gets to him. So I think it's an exciting signing. And again, for $3 to $8 million for someone who can make a significant change to what you've been doing at just that $3 to $8 million conceptual price, that's a low risk, high reward payoff.
Yeah.
All right. That was okay. Not a bad outlook on OBJ signing with the Dolphins.
Look out.
Yeah. Due to time constraints, I ain't got nothing to say because I don't want Rick killing me, but
we all know OBJ is not OBJ from New York Giants.
True indeed.
But he's still sure-handed and he's still OBJ, and I'm sure with either one hand could still catch a ball within range of him. So he's not going to take the top off of anybody probably anymore. But that's what Tyreek and Waddle are for. So he's going to be a la the Adam Thielen possession first down change down changer.
Yeah.
All right, I'm with that. All right. Wow. So when my son decided he wanted to come on the show, I asked him about some of his teams, some of his players. He mentioned Josh Allen. Now, Rick, I know how you feel about Josh Allen because he plays in your division. Steve, we talk about the Bills, which an ex-writer will remain nameless. You know what I'm saying? We not even going to say his name, but we know who I'm talking about. Now, Stephon Diggs is no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
What many people tend to forget in what Stephon brother, was his brother? Yeah, I think it was his brother, made us remember was that before he got there, Allen was more like, I didn't know who the fuck he was like.
A project.
He was not a Super Bowl leading quarterback. But now that Diggs is gone, which Allen will we get? Will we get the one prior to Diggs, or will we get the one who is still rising up the quarterback ranks? Rick, let's start with you. Which Allen will we get next season?
Listen, I'm gonna think Josh Allen is going to regress a little bit this season, and I'm not just saying that as a Dolphins fan. I think you lost a lot of pieces on that offense. I think we're going to find out what the kid's really made of. I say kid, but he's getting up there in age, but he was asked to do a lot in Buffalo, and he's still asked to do a lot. And I think a lot of last year he was forcing a lot of those balls to Stephon Diggs down the stretch. I think I don't know if it was the coaches that was telling him, hey, man, this is your star player, you got to get him involved, or the relationship there was strained the whole time. But even this year with Diggs, he seemed like he took a step back. So I'm curious to see you losing that many pieces. You lose a star player like that. He might end up being the guy that has to roll out more, the guy that might has to take off with the football again like he used to before they tried to make him a little bit more of a pocket passer. So which Diggs or which Josh Allen are we getting this year? you're probably getting the pre Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, and that could be a good thing. That could be a bad thing.
Oh, Nazir, since this was pretty much your segment on
Whoa.
this, what do you think?
That means more than 10-word answer.
When you ask me about the players, I just said Josh Allen because I just mess with Josh Allen. He cool, you know. I like how he played the game, but I just feel like it'll be like another Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes situation. They ain't won a Super Bowl, but I just think, you know, his stats are going to go down a bit, but I don't think he's going to regress like drastically. I feel like just having a new receiver core, they got a decent rookie with Keon Coleman. I feel like they get some chemistry. They'll, you know, do decent, but I don't think he's going to play terrible. It's not like Stephon Diggs. It's not like Stephon Diggs is leaving and then all that experience is just going to go out the window, you know?
All right. Steve, what we got? How do you feel about Josh Allen next season without your boy Diggs?
So I think the Josh Allen growth and progression has gotten him to where he is, and I don't really think that's gonna just all of a sudden just stop and like fall off a cliff. But I do think that the lack of known factor of a wide receiver commodity like Diggs, like Davis, not knowing what that kind of chemistry he does and doesn't have with who's coming in to replace them isn't what that is and isn't going to look like is really hard to say. I kind of think it's a little bit of both. I think there might be some regression in the stats, so we might think it's regression in play, but I think it's more of an adjustment period than an actual talent change, if that makes sense. So I think in the long run, it might be better because maybe just that strain on that relationship between he and Diggs was just too much pressure, and maybe that'll lift some of that, and maybe it does make him better because maybe he doesn't have that kind of weight on him. But at the same time, maybe the weight now falls back further on him because there is no one but him. So it's kind of right now. It's kind of like here.
All right. Not a bad take. Yeah. Who knows what Josh Allen gonna do next season? Diggs was a big part of that offense.
No interceptions.
Oh yeah, that much. Yeah, hell yeah. That much he is going to do.
Well, here's the thing. One more final comment on it. That's just all right. So he lost Stephon Diggs. He lost Gabe Davis as well. But
yeah,
even if you get a good receiver to replace him, even if the guy steps in and he could be just as good as Stephon Diggs, I think personally where I believe Josh Allen's at, I think he's hit his ceiling. I don't think he's going to get much better than he's at right now.
I think he has kind of just about. He's almost peak. There's not like there's another echelon to achieve. I don't think so.
No. All right. Jump on to this would be a nice one right here. Oh yeah. So all right. No matter how we feel about Ryan Poles and what he did with Justin in Chicago, what we can say is what he's giving Caleb Williams is an opportunity to not fuck up. Like, I mean, yeah, pretty much be a fucking all-pro. Like, you got to think about the moves that were made this offseason. Who they had? Keenan Allen. You already got fucking DJ Moore, and who else? Who they drafted?
I think it was Rome or Dunze. Was that him?
The question is, why couldn't they have done that the first 3 years for feet?
What? That's it.
Right.
Exactly. But now when they line up against Green Bay or Minnesota or Philly, and I mean anybody can line up and score against Carolina, but that's another story. But when they line I'm sorry, kid, I had to throw that. That was just too easy. But when they line up, how potent can this damn Chicago Bears offense be? Steve, let's start with you.
On paper, scary as hell. But that's all on a piece of paper. we don't know, again, what kind of chemistry any of these guys have because they've never taken a single snap together, ladies and gentlemen. So before we go crowning Chicago the Super Bowl champions, let's all pump the brakes and slow down a little bit and just see what happens in the preseason. And again, they still have Eberflus at the helm. How much can we really expect Chicago to improve? I don't know. I have no faith personally in the coaching because how many years has he been there? How many offensive coordinators has he run through? Every single year he has a new one. Why is that? And how can anyone ever get in a system if it's a revolving door of systems? Good luck, Caleb Williams.
Damn. Nazir, how do you how do you feel about Chicago's offense heading into the 2024-25 season?
I feel like they set Williams up for success. Like, it's gonna be a short answer, but it all just depends on him, really, and the coaches, obviously. But all they can do is draw up a play.
Okay, that was like pretty much straight to the point right there. Nazir said, "Yo,
I really got nothing else to say." Like, you know,
he said, "Yo, all they can do is just draw up and play." Like, yo, they got to go out there and execute. Shit.
right.
He's not wrong.
He's the number one draft pick. Like, they got him for a reason. They expect him to change the franchise. So
you put
that's what
two
you gotta
top 10 draft picks on the same offense.
Yeah.
They better do something.
Yeah. Rick, what you think? How you feel about the Bears offense for next season?
I'm gonna tell you the one thing that's gonna be the key, the deal breaker on this kid, and it all comes down to last year's stats. The Chicago Bears, I think, allowed the 8th most sacks in the NFL, and they only signed 1 or 2 offensive linemen this offseason.
Offensive line, yeah.
They I don't care who, you can go get the best quarterback in the league, you can go get the best receivers in the game. It does not matter. Football is a game of timing. And if you can't get the timing down because the defense is in your lap on every single play, it ain't going to work. That play isn't going to develop downfield. Your quarterback's not going to have time to get the ball out. You're never going to throw the deep ball, so your defense are constantly going to be cheating up. It's all going to come down to the offensive line play, and they can put as many stars on the field as they want.
All right. Okay. That was, that was a good one. Now, before I go to the next segment, because I'm going to skip one. I'm going to make that one of the last NFL segments because that is mainly for Steve, and I would love, well, I pretty much have the idea of what the hell he's going to say about that one. So, yeah, we gonna skip this one. All right. So, yeah, this was the head shaker of the draft, and I'm pretty sure y'all can read this here at the bottom.
Ooh,
this
continues to be a spicy.
What the?
I don't understand.
Okay, I get it. Kirk Cousins coming off the injury, and that's cool. However, you still decided to give this man a big ass contract. Then you pretty much said, you know what, Kirk? I don't really trust your ass like that. So we can go draft another quarterback in the first round. Michael Penix Jr. Okay, let me see. All right, we're gonna start with Steve. Steve, did Atlanta do the right thing for their future, or did they make a colossal mistake and fuck up their locker room for the present?
Well, have you ever seen a coin that lands on its side? Two things can be true at the same time. I don't have a clue what they possibly are thinking when you go out and spend as much money as you do on a franchise quarterback for the next 3 to 4 years, essentially. That's the terms you gave. That's what you signed him up for. And then turn directly around in like a 2-week span and drafted your future franchise quarterback. So now they are laying on top of each other, and you're either wasting 2 to 3 years of Penix behind Cousins because you've paid him, And or since you did that, that's coming out mostly behind Cousins' back. Now you've created an Aaron Rodgers and dissected like poisoned locker room without anything actually having happened between any player that's any of their fault. Way to go. I think I've also heard this in the NFL. If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have 0 quarterbacks. So why would you go and get a 35-year-old who has great numbers and a rookie who's the oldest rookie in the draft at quarterback also? So he's already 23 and behind the time schedule. And now he's going to be 25-6 before he gets to be on the field as a starter when you have a 4-year rookie window that you're just washing away because he's your backup plan. How good does that sound?
Good point there. Good. All good points. Nazir, how do you feel about the Atlanta Falcons taking a rookie quarterback, of course, a fucking rookie quarterback, a quarterback in the draft, and they just signed Kirk Cousins to a big ass deal?
I don't understand it. I don't know what to say. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what like the plan is. Maybe they're playing mind games with Kirk Cousins, like you better do good or Peanut's gonna come and take the job from you. But I don't know, man. Atlanta's I don't know, man. Another short answer. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't know what they were thinking.
Honestly, he's done exactly what the whole rest of the world is currently doing because of what Atlanta did. We're all just kind of like scratching our heads like, yeah, what are we supposed to really talk or think with this? Like, there is not a like thought process that even any of us can wrap our heads around that makes any of this even remotely make sense. It's just what are you doing?
Right.
How? Why? This makes no sense. You can't logicalize something that is so illogical. I guess that's the answer.
Rick, how do you
Yes,
how do you feel about this whole Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix and fucking semi-love connection that Atlanta's trying to force feed down their throats?
Well, it is as bad as it might be, and while there are other holes for them to fill, I will say I will take the other side of the coin here. When it comes to the Kirk Cousins contract, everybody's blowing this up, ballooning this contract at $180 million. Guaranteed money, it's $100 million. By year 3, dead money's $10 million. So I'm not even going to put the Atlanta situation on blast like that. So let's be honest. Kirk Cousins, good quarterback, great quarterback in some people's minds, hasn't got the team there, hasn't got the team a championship. That is what it is. Essentially what you did, you came in and gave your quarterback, age aside, you gave him time to learn the plays, time to develop chemistry with his receivers, something that not a lot of quarterbacks get because they go to bad teams, which Atlanta's a bad team. Now you keep fans interested because you signed Kirk Cousins. Now the fans are like, oh, they are trying to win now. So this wasn't a move about who's going to be our best quarterback now. This wasn't going to be who's the best quarterback in the future. Atlanta made moves to try to keep fans interested. I don't know. When we think about the great quarterbacks right now, you think about Aaron Rodgers sitting behind his first couple of years. You think about Tom Brady sitting behind his first couple of years. You think about Patrick Mahomes sitting behind his first couple of years. So I think that was the mentality that Atlanta had. Did they make the right call? We'll see. But in the same sense, 2 years down the road, if they find this kid ain't it, Kirk Cousins can be kept around, and they can still go out 2 years from now and draft the next guy. He gets cut. No problems, no questions asked. It's a weird way to do business, but I could put a little bit of logic behind it. But I don't, whether or not it works out, that's a gamble. That was definitely a big gamble.
I guess, yeah, the only possible logic that could be attained is, I guess, the Green Bay Packers concept theory that, yes, we don't need a quarterback now with Aaron Rodgers, but we're going to go ahead and grab Jordan Love because he's available. And then just let him soak up Aaron Rodgers for as long as we can keep that happy train rolling or whatever. And then we'll just transition to whatever Jordan Love is at that point, which apparently is working out. He's not Aaron Rodgers, but he's also not a bust. So I guess that's sort of them hedging their bets that Kirk Cousins can now be a curmudgeon starting quarterback for 2 more years with his $50 million average salary, with the $100 million is guaranteed for 2 years. And
That's a normal contract these days, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, let's be honest.
I think it's 35-40 for quarterbacks, but yeah, so he's a little ahead, but Kirk Cousins cash wise,
everybody's going to catch up soon. Yeah,
we're surprised that Kirk Cousins being ahead cash wise. Where's Kirk? Anyway, so yeah, Kirk Cousins now also gets that whole. Well, wait a minute, you guys told me I was your guy, and now on draft night, I'm Aaron Rodgers, thinking everything's hunky dory, kicking my feet up. I'm a new quarterback at my new place in Atlanta, and wait a minute, you drafted my replacement. That's what I just chose not to do in Minnesota. I didn't want to have a replacement behind me. So now you have an unhappy guy that you spent probably maybe a little too much on, and a new kid who are now both stuck in this limbo area of neither one is really happy because neither one is really getting what they want.
Yeah,
Right.
I got a real question here, and it kind of it's kind of weird to think of, but in the same sense, would we be having the same discussion if they only signed Kirk Cousins for that $28 to $35 million range? If you went out and paid him like a middle of the pack quarterback, or sort of towards the top tier quarterback, not a top tier quarterback, like the elite quarterback, if you didn't pay him as much as they did, would people be as upset if there wasn't as much money involved?
I think the reaction would be less because you wouldn't have paid such a steep price to do such a next move right underneath it. So yeah, I think a lower price would have softened the blow, but it still kind of leaves everyone going, what is Atlanta really doing? Does Atlanta know what they're doing?
Right. As I said, it's definitely a weird move altogether, but hey, it's their money, man. If he wants to sign the check, I guess go for it.
Not my problem.
All right.
Not my division. I don't care.
That's right.
All right, Nazir. Yeah, this is pretty much your segment right here. Yeah, so I hope you're ready, because I'm pretty sure everybody's ready to pretty much take you down. All right, so we're gonna start off with one of your players. Once again, a player that you mentioned to me. Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
My God.
All right. So, how can I start this question off? Great player, no doubt about that. Great generational player. Like, Lamar Jackson is good. He's great. However, he ain't won shit. I'm sorry. I don't know how to say it, I don't know how to put it, but he has not won shit. Now, remember back in the days, it started with John Elway. John Elway, great quarterback, but he can't win it until he won 2 Super Bowls. Then it was Peyton Manning. He can't win. Then he can't beat Tom Brady. He got all this talent, great offense, great defense, but he can't win. Now, here comes Lamar Jackson. 2 MVPs to his name. And if I'm not mistaken, somebody please tell me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong. Have they made it to an AFC Championship game yet?
Yeah, this year.
Okay.
Or last year.
Yeah.
Right. Like I said, I could be wrong. Yeah, could be wrong. This was their Super Bowl year, correct? Supposedly. This was the down year for the Chiefs, supposedly. But this was Lamar's year. Once again, MVP of the league for the second time. And yet you have not reached the Super Bowl yet. So at what point do we start to put him with the, hey, you're John Elway. You're Peyton Manning. You cannot win the big game when it counts. You're great in the regular season. You're the man. But when he needs you to win, where the fuck are you? So Nazir, how do you feel about Lamar Jackson, your guy, not being able to win the big game?
As far as the Peyton Manning treatment, I feel like, it's fair. Like, you won the regular season MVP twice, one unanimous, one vote short of unanimous. Like, and as everybody on ESPN was saying, this is Baltimore year to win the championship, and I thought it was too. I thought they were going to win the whole thing, playing how they did against the 49ers, the Lions, the Seahawks, blowing out all the top teams. What I think what happened in the AFC Championship game, I think it was just bad game planning. I think having Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes getting into a shootout or like a throw off wasn't the best decision, like offensive coordinator wise. I think they should have ran the ball more. They ran the ball like 5 to 6 times the whole game. And on those 5 to 6 times, they had about like 5.86 yards a carry. I don't know why they stopped running the ball. But I think the Peyton Manning treatment. Well, also I can't say that in the beginning of Lamar's career. Like, let's say 2018 got a starting job halfway through the season. 2019 4-year starter, he got an MVP. 2020 they lost. Was that the year? They lost to the Bills in the playoffs. In 2021, 2022, he was injured the last half of those both seasons. So I feel like, in the beginning of Lamar's career, he didn't really have the best offense around him, if I'm being completely honest. He didn't have the best offense. This year, I thought he had a shot. Zay Flowers, explosive rookie. Mark Andrews, he did get hurt, but likely he stepped up in his role. They had number 1 defense in the league, most sacks. I think they had the most turnovers, or second most turnovers. I thought they were going to win it all. They just went to bed in the championship game. And context also matters because Zay Flowers, he did fumble that ball. And then it just went downhill. Lamar threw the triple coverage interception. It just, I don't know. I feel like they had the formula, just didn't execute the best.
What?
But they didn't execute in the last game. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, kid. I really, really, really expected you to come on this show and just straight bomb. I just knew you was going to crawl up in the corner somewhere and straight bomb. The fact that you even ran down the fucking years to the point where through the injuries, through the throwing in triple coverage, you even knew the yards per play. Like, kid, I am like having a proud dad movie. Like,
there's a tear under that mask.
I'm sorry to everybody watching it and listening, but like, damn, I'm about to cry in this moment. No, but once again, good points. Rick, what you got on this whole, Lamar Jackson not being able to win that big game like Peyton and John Elway at one point in time?
Well, first of all, as a Dolphins fan, let me say thank you for not bringing up the Dan Marino of it all.
About that.
But I've said it for years, and man, I kicked a hornet's nest and pissed off a bunch of Ravens fans a couple years back on Twitter. I think Lamar Jackson is a great quarterback, and I'm not going to take anything away from him. I think in the big games he tries to do too much, and maybe that's on his coaches for relying on him too much. I think maybe if the defense could maybe compensate for him trying to do too much and to cover for those mistakes, I think he is a championship quarterback. But in those big games, you've seen it year after year after year where he tries to do throwing into triple coverage there alone. You know, you're in a big game like that. Do you really need to be making that exact throw? Throw it away. Live to play another down. He tries to get those highlight reel moments, and I feel like that's what holds him back. I feel like that's what keeps him from making those smart plays. He's got all the talent in the world. It's the decision making in those big games that really keeps them from being that from being a dynasty. Let's be honest. They have all the makings of it, but they just can't get past that one. Once they get to the Super Bowl, if they do win the Super Bowl, I think they go back again. But I think getting there, he's too in his head. He's trying to do too much, and that's what's holding him back. It's not going to be much longer. If he can get there, I think you see it in the next couple of years. If he doesn't, then yeah, you're going to roll out that Peyton Manning treatment, that John Elway treatment.
All right. My man Steve, how you feel about this whole,
I like Lamar. He's one of my favorite players. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks. I love everything about his game and how he does it. And Baltimore is a great team, and they just happen to also be another team that wears purple, so it works perfectly in my color scheme. But I actually think there isn't as much. I do kind of agree, and I do see that it might be someone that Lamar tries to take on too much in the big moments, and a little bit of maybe hero ball is occurring, and maybe it's been gotten into his head that because he is the man and the MVP that he has to be that in those moments. And so maybe that is a coachable, changeable thing. I'm going to say that it's not that he deserves the Peyton Manning treatment, but maybe it's more so he's in the Peyton Manning dilemma. He's in the wrong conference. If Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens were in the NFC, you tell me how many times they wouldn't be representing the NFC against a Patrick Mahomes and the other quarterbacks that he is stuck against the wall of in the AFC.
That's a good point.
Oh, you know what? Y'all making me so proud. I'm saying, I didn't even know what to say. I'm saying. All right. So damn, we've been all right. I like Lamar, and of course, Peyton is by far probably one of my favorite quarterbacks. I still thought it was unfair because at that time, there wasn't nobody on this planet beating fucking Brady and them fucking Patriots. So I don't give a fuck. Like, they were just somewhere else. It was them, and then it was everybody else. I don't care who you had.
White Freeney.
Yeah, they were just freaking. That Patriot dynasty was just
Robert
different.
Mathis.
That was hard to do. Now, see, I ain't done with you. Trust me, believe. I'm not done with you. I'm gonna skip that one too because I ain't forget about you either, Steve. But I'm gonna get Nazir out the way because we're gonna make him give some longer joints. But also, we got like a half hour left also at the same time. All right. One of your teams that you mentioned, well, not one of your teams, your team, Steelers. Mm-hmm. Something always gets me about them every year. As a football fan, we got to hear this. Fire Mike Tomlin. Fire Mike Tomlin. Fire Mike Tomlin. Fire. And I'm like, why?
And yet they never do.
Someone tell me why could they fire Mike Tomlin? Why? Because they haven't reached the Super Bowl? He is by far one of the best coaches that ever coached in the fucking NFL. And you're saying fire him because Kenny Pickett is throwing 8 interceptions. Because Kenny Pickett is dropping the ball because Jalen Warren can't get 5 yards to carry. So, hey, it's Mike Tomlin's fault. So let's get rid of Mike Tomlin. That shit of the grass is not always green on the other side. Trust me, Steelers. Y'all really don't want to know what the grass is like on the other side. That's the other things that keep running through coaches. Like, dude, you got a lifer in your coach. Like, you do not get rid of him because Kenny Pickett can't throw. Like, I mean, and when it comes to coaches, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, granted, your job is to win a Super Bowl. He has done that. Your job also is to get the best out of your team. What coach in the NFL has not gotten the best out of the. My man has not had a fucking losing season.
Ever. Zero.
And he's had some bum teams. So how do you still go 8-8 every or better 8-8 every year with one of the worst rosters in the NFL, and yet all you fans can say is fire Mike Tomlin? Okay, cool, fire him so you can go 0-17 then.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna say, oh shit, hire Mike Tomlin. Get Commando. Like he is really taking these young kids and molding them into winners. Okay, they're not winning a fucking Super Bowl, but y'all not losing either. Like my man is taking that talent and saying, yo, like when they say, I want to find me a coach I will run through a wall for. He is that coach that I will run through a wall for. That's the coach that you need. However, I don't know nothing because I'm a fucking Eagles fan. Nazir, you are a Steelers fan. God help. I don't know where I went wrong on that one, but at least you're in the same state. You're still in the Pennsylvania state, so I can roll with you on that. But as a Steelers fan, how do you feel about all of the backlash and the non-respect that Mike Tomlin gets from the outside world and from inside the Steelers world?
You're on mute.
And you're on mute. You're on mute, potato head.
Okay, I'm good. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that it's just people with short attention spans, really.
Boom.
And they're not understanding is ever since Big Ben retired, we've been in that adjustment period of finding the quarterback, the guy to lead the team. We haven't found him yet. I thought it was the hometown kid, Kenny Pickett, trash. I mean, Mason Rudolph, he did all right. He couldn't get past they played the Bills in the playoffs. I mean, he didn't play terrible, but he didn't play good enough to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now, I feel like the Steelers don't have a bad roster at all. I think they actually have they got a good defense. They have a decent offense. I don't know how everybody else feels, but I like Najee Harris. His little 4 yards per carry.
I wasn't going to clown you on that yet.
His 4 yards per carry. George Pickens is a stud.
Lord,
give him a good quarterback.
Why you admit that?
Could be.
No, he is. He is a stud.
Yep.
When he's not.
But look, 1,100 yards with Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph as your quarterbacks for the season, back-to-back years. He's give him a good. Okay, Russell Wilson. I don't know how he's gonna do it. Russell Wilson, but I feel like him and Russell Wilson. I think that's what he needs, a good quarterback that's going to give him the ball. I think also, the fire Mike Tomlin is just crazy. Like I don't know where that came from. Probably just some dumb 13-year-old on Twitter just started the whole conversation and everybody ran with it.
Did you say dumb 13-year-old on Twitter?
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. But I think they got a solution. They got Russell Wilson on a 1-year contract. Justin Fields is a backup. Went from Russell. He's a winner. He's been to the Super Bowl twice. Like, he's a good mentor. And I think they got the solution with Justin Fields, really.
All right. Steve, how did you feel about the whole Mike Tomlin fiasco in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with you. We are.
Hey, now, yeah, we can see you eating them Skittles, boy.
You and me, Mark, we on the same page, same wavelength. Old school football. That Mike Tomlin is hands down top 10, top 5, maybe at least in this era of NFL coaches ever, and maybe in all of the NFL coaches ever, greatest. He's up there. I don't know what it is, but Mike Tomlin gets through to players better than just about any coach. He's never had a losing season because he knows how to get the best out of everyone, even in losing situations, even when they know their roster is busted, even when they know their coaching is busted, even when they know that this and that isn't going to work or they don't have this. Mike Tomlin still comes out with a winning season. Mike Tomlin still comes out with winning games. Mike Tomlin still finds a way to have a winning record and a winning percentage that is better than almost everyone. Go ahead and fire Mike Tomlin. Do you understand how fast 4 to 6 other coaches will be fired in response because the teams are that ready to jettison their coach to get their hands on Mike Tomlin? Go ahead and try it.
Hey, look,
It's interesting with what Pittsburgh is doing currently with this Russell Wilson, Justin Fields thing. It's kind of like the Atlanta thing, but it's actually not because they didn't use any draft capital attaining either of these guys, really. And, well, I guess they did give up a draft pick in the 6th round to get Fields, but whatever. It's not like they spent a number 1 draft pick drafting either of these guys once they signed one of these guys. But they do have 2 somewhat potential and or great quarterbacks in their quarterback room, kind of like Atlanta. Now they have that whole 2 quarterback, 0 quarterback. Who is the quarterback? I get it. I think, honestly, I understand. I think what they're going to do clearly is the idea that we will start and roll out the year with our trusted, tried and true, hopefully still somewhat tried and true Russell Wilson. 4 to 6 weeks of that, if it isn't working, we can pull the plug because we have Justin Fields in the waiting wing. It all makes sense. That you can logically wrap your head around. Mike Tomlin, he doesn't do things that don't make sense. So I'm not worried about Pittsburgh. They're making work at their quarterback situation. They do have Pickens. They do have Najee Harris. I think they even have a tight end. I'm not very familiar with their roster, but I know that as long as Mike Tomlin's around, they've got a potential chance at making a wild card playoff series. I mean, you name it. Pittsburgh is not going to have a losing season with Mike Tomlin as the coach.
All right, Rick, how do you feel about the Mike Tomlin situation here? I would not say here, but in Pittsburgh.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something. The Pittsburgh Steelers have had 3 coaches since 1969. In that same time, the Miami Dolphins have gone to 13, 14 coaches. The Buffalo Bills probably the same amount of coaches. The New York Jets about the same amount of coaches, and they still, up until a couple years ago, were trying to find a way just to get back to 500, just to get back to even. Let me tell you, if a coach can get you to even or a winning season year in and year out, you're not firing that guy. I do not care. I've seen coaching replacements go wrong. The greatest minds in football, they call some of these guys, can't win more than 3 to 5 games. Don't tell me these guys can't make that work. What's that?
Jeff Fisher?
Right. Listen, I'm going to tell you, it's one of those things where, yeah, you're pissed off because your team's losing. And let's be honest, the Steelers did not look like I was thinking about a midseason. I'm like, this is the year that Tomlin's not going to have a winning season. And he did.
He did.
I don't care what anybody says. The Steelers aren't built to their best roster right now. And Mike Tomlin is still finding ways to win football games. Fire Mike Tomlin. Get out of here. Go watch soccer. I don't know what you're doing.
That's clickbait, yeah.
I mean, look, all good assessments. I totally agree with the whole, let Tomlin breathe. I think he's a remarkable coach. Gives him the players necessary to win. And he hasn't had that. But yet, my man has made it to the playoffs, and he hasn't had to lose a season. Like, God damn, like, that's what you shit on? You shit on a coach who has not led you to a losing season? Like, that's what you're pissed about? Like,
that's for all the novice minds who don't know enough about the game. That's the easy, that's the simplified answer. That's the cop out. It's the coaching that's the problem. It's this, it's not my favorite player's fault that he doesn't know what he's doing. Well, maybe it is.
All right. All right, so let's jump. Oh yeah. We definitely went out of time. So let's blow through these other ones real quick. Can't believe we really got most of these done though. That was nice, good job, y'all. All right. Last season there was a bit of a drawback, setback, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Aaron Rodgers went that game in the year. Didn't play. He was a big acquisition for the Jets. How much pressure? Not the Jets. How much pressure is on Aaron Rodgers this season? Like if he fails, was it a bad signing? If he does well, like that's what I'm saying. Does he have the most pressure on him than any player in this league for this coming season? Steve, let's start with you.
In a lot of ways, you could say yes, because that was the expectation last year. That was the whole reason of his signing and moving on and going to a ready-made defense and some talent kind of bubbling on the offensive side, right? They were a quarterback away, and he was the quarterback with 3 MVPs, 4, whatever, however many MVPs, whatever. And that lasted all of 2 minutes and a blown Achilles. Now we got to scrap that season and say, okay, we're going to just let that go and we'll run it back this year. So here we are now this year. Why should this year's expectations be any less or different than they were before, if not heightened because of last year's lack of happening, regardless of whether it was injury caused or performance based? Yes, that pressure expectation will never go away from Aaron Rodgers the same way it will never go away from LeBron James. And then whether or not that's that person's fault or not, that is their MO. That is their expectation. That is what they have drawn with their resume of performance up to this point. So, yes, Aaron Rodgers has absolutely a whole ton of pressure to succeed this year. And if they don't, it's going to lead to a whole lot of question marks. And maybe he should have spent more time on the playbook than his quasi-presidential, vice presidential campaigns. Retreats or whatever else he's doing. And again, I keep hearing this because it's been because of Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers both being in their upper 30s and coming off an ACL. Ask Cam Akers, who was also a Viking last year when Kirk Cousins blew his Achilles. You are more likely to blow the other Achilles after having the first one go. So, again, good luck, quarterbacks.
Rick, you're AFC East guy. So yeah, how do you feel? Is the pressure on Rodgers more than it is anybody else this year?
Absolutely. I'm going to tell you this. When it comes to Aaron Rodgers, not only he won his first Super Bowl, his only Super Bowl, 15 years ago. Hasn't done much since. He's been one of the greatest passing quarterbacks in the league ever since. He's knocked down the door a couple times, never got over the hump. It's funny to me that we will sit here and say that guys like Lamar Jackson are the next best thing and who should be getting his championship, but guys like Aaron Rodgers get a free pass, when they're not performing. It's funny, and it's also kind of on Aaron Rodgers to go out and win because they didn't just bring in Aaron Rodgers. If you remember, there was that whole fiasco where it sounded like he was handpicking his teammates. He was handpicking who they were signing. He was bringing in this receiver, that receiver, some of his guys from Green Bay. He brought in his best lineman. He brought in his best wide receiver. He was essentially pulling these puppet strings trying to get his best chances at success in New York. And if he doesn't go out with the talented rookies that he had from a couple years, but I'm sorry, they're not rookies now, but he had these elite level players that he got brought in to help get to the next level. He brought in his guys. He brought it in on his terms. He took a contract. He took a lesser contract to do it, which props to him for doing it. But essentially, you gave him everything he needed to succeed, everything he told you he needed to succeed. And if he still doesn't, I think that hurts his legacy more than anything.
Shit, good point. Good point. To the young man over there, Mr. Skittles. Yeah, I'm saying you ain't even offer nobody no damn Skittles. No greedy ass. No, but how do you feel about Aaron Rodgers? With the Jets, how much pressure is he feeling this year?
I think, of course, he's going to feel a lot of pressure because they brought him in to basically take him to the Super Bowl. That was the whole reason to get a quarterback of that caliber. He won an MVP not too long ago, maybe like 2 years ago. They brought him in. They got a good defense. They got, like you said earlier, some young budding stars on offense, and all I needed was a quarterback, and that's the whole reason he was there. Now, I do think, maybe this is just me, I feel like the most pressure in the league probably quarterback-wise either goes to probably like Lamar Jackson, just because this was the Super Bowl year, and they were expected to go all the way. But I think behind Lamar is Aaron Rodgers with the most pressure on him.
I agree. I think he's under a tremendous amount, just because of what happened, and then not even an injury, just that what happened with the other quarterbacks, and I mean their defense is ready. The offense is still shaky to me, but whatever. But I like Rodgers. Dude is a straight Hall of, like, the minute he says I'm done, like, they just do his bus already. Like, his shit is cemented. Now, what I love from the win,
that's more regular season Hall of Fame than it is the first postseason success.
Yeah, he's struggled. He has struggled in the postseason. Still one of the best.
It's interesting because Rick made a good point. Russell Wilson been to 2 Super Bowls. Won 1, lost 1. So is Aaron Rodgers. Won 1, lost 1. Hasn't been back to the big game since. Yet he doesn't seem to be getting the same heat and treatment that Russell Wilson certainly has been. Now, granted, Russell Wilson's play hasn't really been the same level that Aaron Rodgers has, because Aaron keeps winning those MVP awards. So it keeps kind of masking what the actual differences are, but neither one can get back to the big game. So I don't know.
That's a damn good point. That's a real damn good point. Shit, that was all. Damn, look at you, Steve. You at that time, you know what I'm saying? What the hell? Minnesota started winning some games, and all of a sudden you became a savant. Like, what the hell is going on?
I've always been here. I've just kind of been a little bit shy.
Like, damn, what's going on? All right. Wow. Okay, Steve. You go last on this one. However, I will warn you. Time. So when you go last, mind you the time. We ain't got that much time left, so I ain't saying pull a Nazir and be like, yeah, I'm saying, yeah, I agree, and that's it. But just mind the time.
I do have one Vikings thing I'd like to get to.
Yeah, so this one we're going to start with the youngin, Nazir.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Vikings lost. Okay. Vikings lost Kirk Cousins.
Right.
They went into the draft thinking, well, damn, what we going to do? They ended up with J.J. McCarthy of Michigan. Now, can he do it? Or are they, is he just a bridge until they can find someone else?
I think it's just one of those, like another Big Ben in the Steelers situation. They lost their franchise guy. Now this is who they think is going to get the job done. They don't have a bad offense. I think they just got Aaron Jones, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was Aaron Jones. They got a good running back. They like to say at Michigan he was just a hand the ball off guy. So, But yeah, I think, like I said before, the same situation with Big Ben. If he gets it done or shows that he can win within the first maybe 2 to 3 years, I'll probably stick with him. But if not, then they're going to go and find somebody else in the next draft down the line, or trade or something.
Damn. Well, okay. Yeah. That was a damn good point right there. Okay, brother. Rick, how do you feel about the drafting of JJ as the next the next guy in Minnesota?
Well, I think luckily for this young quarterback, he's not replacing their all-time great. He's not going in and he's not replacing the best quarterback to ever play in Minnesota. Now, don't get me wrong, Kirk Cousins did his thing in Minnesota. He won them some football games. He put on a few highlight reels. But the pressure is on when you go from like a true great quarterback, an elite quarterback, to now a rookie. The pressure is ballooned. I think if you can do as well or as close to Kirk Cousins, I think people will give him a lot more of a break. So I think the expectation, I don't want to say the expectations are low. I think he has softened expectations. I say would probably be the proper way to put it. I think he's in a good spot to succeed. So I think they have a lot of talent there still. So yeah, I think he can be the guy right away. But will he be an elite quarterback? That's going to come down to coaching and development.
All right, damn good point. Oh boy, Steve. All right, because I know I was in the chat room with you when the draft was going on. I know that you wanted JJ well before the draft. Now that you got him, how are you feeling about the pick? Is he the guy or not?
I actually do. Since before the draft, I did some of my own research and looked up at this man, JJ McCarthy. Since high school, has done nothing but win. His record since playing high school football and college football is 61-3, 67-3. I'm sorry, like what? We're questioning whether or not this kid knows how to play the game or knows how to win, or I mean, how many throws it takes for him to get the job done. Like, who cares? He wins games, period. Now, yes, and he's won high school champions in his home state 2 times. Then he left home while still in high school before college and went to that big fancy school in Florida and won a national high school. That sports performance school that is all about excelling at the sport you are there to perform in. He has done nothing in his life but prepare himself to play this game of football at this professional level. And here he is now ready to do so. And even if he is not ready at this point at 21 years old, just fresh off of being drafted, fine. We've got Sam Darnold, who, guess what, is also a former number 1 first-round draft pick. Like, we're not worried much, and he's still in his 20s. Sam Darnold has just as much chance to succeed here in Minnesota with the system and weapons that are in place around him and a coach who is set up to help quarterbacks succeed as a former quarterback himself. Kirk Cousins had the best of his time under KOC. It's obvious. The stats bear it out. KOC is going to make Sam Darnold look better than we have ever known about Sam Darnold potentially looking. He's not going to see ghosts anymore here in Minnesota. I promise that. He's going to see a lot of JJ open. I also know that because we've got Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson. So he's going to find open receivers more than he's going to see ghosts. And as far as that goes for JJ McCarthy, that gives him the entire ability to sit back and absorb and soak up the playbook and learn and take his time and grow beyond Sam Darnold, if that's how we want to put it. But also here's the biggest take on the JJ McCarthy that honestly I think everyone is overlooking and just missing completely the point on. They want to bring up the knock on JJ McCarthy is that he has not thrown the ball more than 20 times in a game. So he doesn't have extra wear and tear on shoulders and elbows and limbs and ligaments and things that all the other quarterbacks are, because they are doing that already by the time they get to the NFL. So doesn't that mean JJ has a fresher arm here and now for the NFL to throw it as many times as he needs to in the NFL? Whether that's 25 or 35, I don't think that matters. Who cares? Because again, We've got so many weapons, and we've got Aaron Jones. We have a potential run game. We don't actually need him to throw as many times as everyone thinks we do. I don't see that being a problem. So please explain to me how someone having a fresh arm as a quarterback is going to be a problem. JJ's ready to win. Oh, and also, did you know that since JJ McCarthy was drafted here in Minnesota, the state of Minnesota has seemingly done nothing but win too? The Minnesota Twins have gone on a 12-game winning streak since the
Get the hell out of here with that.
The Minnesota Timberwolves are undefeated in the playoffs at 6-0 and 4 road wins, 4-0 on the road since the draft of JJ McCarthy. Minnesota now only knows how to win in a state now that JJ McCarthy, who has only done nothing but win in his life, is here in the
I'm
state.
about
of
2
Minnesota.
seconds from muting your mic with that craziness.
Welcome to Minnesota.
Oh, now you just call that shit Minnesota. I'm done. I done heard it all today.
So I got to jump in here. I got a question. You brought up a point, and I kind of want to touch on this. So you said all he's done is win at the high school and college level, right? So you're not worried about that Trevor Lawrence effect where he's only won 20 games early on in his career, because all Trevor Lawrence did was to win in high school and all he did was win in college. He was undefeated in those sports. So you don't have any concerns about that?
No.
Good. Okay. I like it. I can deal with it.
All right. All right. So time is about over. Like you guys are running.
College, all I do is win.
Oh my God. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna leave that one alone right there. But no. I can't mess with Steve on that one. You guys did about what, hour and 51 minutes? Yo, that's about totally awesome. Now, Rick and then Steve, here's what I need y'all to do. I need the both of y'all to somehow convince the little guy over here in the corner. I know my camera's pointing the opposite way. Is this the right way right here? That's what we're doing right here, right? The guy there, the little one right there. Now, you surprised me with your sports knowledge. No doubt about that. I am very shocked, surprised, happy. Now, for years, I've been telling you, why don't you write? Why don't you come and do what we do? Like, is it the criticism? Or, I mean, like, yeah, I'm putting you on a spot in front of the whole 90-something people that's watching right now. So I want to know what is the issue, because you obviously know what the hell you're talking about. So think about it. All right. You can write about the sports that you love, but then you also can take it to another level and get credentialed to visit those arenas. Go to the press conference, talk to the players, talk to the coaches. Free. You get free food. But I mean, it's something that you love to do. You love sports, obviously. So take advantage of the opportunity while you can. That's all I'm saying, kid. I've been trying to get you. He's a lost cause. But I've been trying to get one of y'all to come into the fold. Now, these are two guys that I write with every day. And, I mean, this is what we do every day. We sit here and talk sports every day. We can sit here and talk life, because the podcast is about more than sports. We talk about life. We talk about television. We talk about everything. However, but I know that you love sports. So, yes, I am asking you right now in front of everybody, why don't you come right, bro? Oh, here we go.
To be honest, I never really thought about writing. Like, I just like sports. I like watching sports. Like, it's good to debate, but I think the writing side is just it's actually nothing wrong with it. I like the podcast that we're doing. It's fun. Like, it's fun.
But
I don't know about.
That's how we all started.
I think what it is really is just, I feel like in the professional writing world, you have to use the right words. Mm-hmm. And like I feel like people, if you don't know something about a certain team, like people are going to criticize that and like try to decredit you.
But they'll do
Stuff
that
like
to
that.
prove they're right.
The people criticize you. You can
You gotta put the suit armor on, and you just gotta take them hits and wear it. Put the shield up.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, shoot.
They're gonna shoot
right.
for you regardless of whether you right or wrong. Someone's always gonna find a right or wrong to what you have on an opinion of or fact of. Someone will always have some kind of opposite of to try to get in or at what you're doing.
Yeah, look, kid. Look, as my kid, I have written articles where people have emailed me. They said, "Hey, fuck your kids." My kids ain't got nothing to do with the Grey's Anatomy article or nothing.
What?
But people will threaten you and say, F your family because it's a little bit personal.
Yeah.
But the criticism just comes with the business, man. It's with any job that you do, whether it's writing or selling shoes or cleaning toilets. Someone's always going to criticize. I'm just telling you this. I wish I would have got into it when I was your age. I wish I would have gotten to the podcast shit. Well, they didn't have that shit when I was your age because the internet wasn't even invented yet. So be quiet on my age. But I'm just saying we didn't have all of this. But if I did, I mean, like, imagine me being 21 years old and someone saying, "Hey, you can come to a Knicks game for free, sit there with a laptop, and watch the game. Never have to pay again because you are credentialed to cover that team." I wish someone would have told me that shit at 21. I'm trying to tell you this now at your age.
Get yourself ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna put it like that.
I apologize for putting you on the spot with two people that you don't know, and then the other, 100 people that's watching right now. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I'm lying my ass.
I'm fine.
I didn't mean to do that. But no. All seriousness, though, like if you ever want to get into the writing, like come on, we got you. We won't be hard on you. But with that said, as the newbie here, I mean, how was your time here on the show?
It was fun. I ain't gonna lie, I had wrote down a little bit of notes on the questions you had asked, and then like when the show started, I just forgot everything.
Yeah.
So
But
I kind of winged it. I'm not gonna lie, I just winged it. It was fun though. It was fun. I'll do it again. It's fun.
But part of the fun of it is kind of letting yourself. Part of that is letting yourself sort of. I mean, you do want to like get yourself with the questions and get yourself some kind of cliff notes, but be able to free ball after those cliff notes because the questions might change or someone else's answer might have given you a different thought than what you had previously written down to change your answer. So be open to that freedom. That's been my biggest learning experience is. I don't have to be stuck to my notes. I can move from my notes and defer and float. Yeah. But also, when I got into this, I didn't think I was going to even be doing any writing. I just wanted to get into the radio and podcast and microphone and be in person and interview stuff. In the process of going to school and getting an MBS, I've started doing the writing and I've actually kind of gotten a liking and understanding in it. And it's helped me in my process to everything else that I'm doing. It connects together. It's all kind of one little unit. So just take your time and work through it because it's a big land opportunity. There's a space for all of us.
I think the biggest thing is I just got to do more research. We just gotta do research.
Facts.
You just gotta start somewhere, man. Rip that Band-Aid off, and I gotta tell you, there ain't a person that's in this.
Day, bro.
There isn't a person that's in here that isn't gonna give you advice along the way, man. There's people that are gonna build you up. That's one of the greatest things that I've learned writing is that there are always people that be like, "Hey, man, you did this great, but here's what you could do a little bit better." There's always people willing to support you. So. Dive in, rip the Band-Aid off. You're going to make mistakes. Everybody has, and you just learn from it and get better.
Amen.
Because this was fun.
Absolutely. This has been a blast. I've had a blast today.
That was great. It was great advice. There, yo, you got it. Yo, I get.
Oh,
Oh, we lost him.
Uh-oh.
Host got cut.
You're too happy.
He's just sitting there like, what the fuck did I just click? Watch.
What happened? What happened? Wrong button.
All right,
wrong button. Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, it's been a blast today, guys. Had a good time.
Yeah, I think we're wrapping it up anyway. So, guys, I'd love to see everybody back. I don't know what we're doing next week, but absolutely, you guys are always welcome to come on. This has been a blast.
For sure.
Fun. I'll definitely come back.
For sure. All right, I'm gonna get going here myself. If Mike comes back on, he'll probably sign us all off. But good luck, gentlemen.
All right, have a good
See you later.
Have a good one. I guess I'll just leave too then. I don't know. I don't know what to do.